Good evening, everyone. How was today? A busy Monday. Welcome you for today's training. And this is the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management, uh, 1 month free professional diploma training in peace and conflict management. Today is our day 16th of the training. I wish to welcome all of you for joining us for today. It's a great privilege to have all of you here joining us today as well. And we hope that at the end of the day, we have a reason to appreciate our time here. Uh, for those of you that have not joined a group, please join a group so that uh, you'll get a topic for your role, similar like role playing or simulation training or something of that nature. So, but it's going to be awesome, all right? So that you practicalize what you're learning here. I think that's the key of what we're trying to achieve here. So try and join a group so that you can get to participate effectively in uh, in the presentation the various group will be doing. So if we are yet to join a group, try and join one so that you can be part of the simulation training. So, but I want to sincerely thank you for joining us for today, and I also encourage that you will share the link with someone, invite them to be part of this training, let them know what we're doing here, and let them be a part of it. All right. So, and as you are doing so, you'll be promoting peace indirectly. Yeah, you're also contributing your own part to get the message across to people. When they come and learn, get the training, get the knowledge, they will help us to build peace in our communities. So that's why it is important that you share the link with someone, invite them, put it on your wall. It will be a traffic. When they see it, they will come, and then from there they will get engaged. Let them know that this is a free training. Put it on your wall, write free 1 month professional training. You can also be a part of this if you choose to be and learn and get the skills that will help you to promote peace in our communities, in our various places of work, in our offices, in our communities, in our schools. You know, so it's going to be awesome, right? So today, so for those of you that have not gotten your certificate on ADR, please be patient with us. You get your certificate. For those of you that are yet to also get your certificate in peace and sustainable development, be patient. Once the site is up, we fast track that so that you get your certificate and then move forward. Before this one will come and meet you, you should be able to get your certificate, clear it out of the way. Leave no one. Are we together? So that's it. So today we'll be looking at gender, peace, and conflict. This is what we'll be looking at. That is Unit 4 of Module 4. Unit 4 of Module 4, we'll be looking at gender, peace, and conflict. We want to look at how these three concepts interplays, how they experience each other, like how gender influences peace and conflict. Do you understand? And how they are both affected, or how these are affected by this both concept, peace and conflict. All right, gender influences conflict and peace, and they are irreversibly affected, all right, by this same concept as well. You understand? That is, they influence it and also being affected by these two factors, peace and conflict. So we'll be looking at how gender influences conflict, how gender influences peace, right? So I hope that we'll have a great time together today. If you have any question, you ask in the comment section. And then for those of you that if you have any question, just ask in the comment section. Of course, you also participate fully by commenting and letting us know what you understand, how you are following the program. Do you understand? All right. So I want us to look at, like I have announced, gender, peace, and conflict. All right. These concepts, they intersect, you know, each other. Do you understand? All right. So we're going to look at how these concepts, how they are interwoven, and how they affect each other. Do you understand? So gender influences peace and conflict in, and peace in turn affect gender. It has effects in different dimensions, and the impacts of peace and conflict on gender is not equally being felt. It's being felt differently. How women affect peace and conflict differs from how men, affect peace and conflict. And of course, it also differs on age as well, how children are being affected compared to the adults, and how old people also are being affected compared to young people. Do you understand? So it's the impact of conflict on these gender categories differs. Do you understand? The experience is never the same. Do you understand? The experience is never the same. So I want us to look at the impact of all of that, and then we'll see how this will go along with vehicles. All right. So we are saying that, you know, understanding how gender influences experiences of war and peace, and how gendered perspectives can contribute to more effective conflict resolution and sustainable peace will go a long way to help us. Do you understand? So, but let's look at some key concepts and some key terms, all right? Key terms, key concepts, key themes in peace or in gender peace and conflict. All right, first and foremost, we'll be looking at the gendered impacts. Do you understand? How, we say that women and gays, all right, often face unique vulnerabilities during conflict, including sexual violence, displacement, and loss of livelihood. Do you understand? So, women and gays suffer, you know, they are always at the receiving end of all of these things. Do you understand? And men and boys are also, impacted because men are likely to be recruited to join the force. Young boys or children are also being recruited to join the force. Do you understand? To be combatants in war front. When the Boko Haram was on in Nigeria, for instance, the young people with children fight. Some of them underage were recruited to be part of Boko Haram. Some of them even carry out uh, oppression. You understand? They went on operation. They, they, detonate bombs here and there. You understand? So it was an experience in such a way that young children also were affected. So you can see now peace and conflict, or conflict generally now, affect these individuals differently. Where young people and also men are being recruited to join the force to fight, women receive it at the other end of maybe sexual abuse, you know, and displacement, loss of livelihoods, and all of that. So disconnected from family members and things like that. So several things. You understand? So young boys are being recruited into armed groups or suffering from societal pressures to conform to hyper masculine role, because it's generally believed that it's men that fight war. You understand? So they are they are to align with that. So if you refuse to join, they look at you as a coward and you are not qualified to be in the community, because you are they will categorize you like a woman. It's not a man. You understand? So you have to go and fight war. You understand? Because you are a man. So if you refuse to do so, they will term you as a coward, and of course they will categorize you in the category of women. So this one, one is a woman. Do you understand? It's not man enough. And then we also talk about the non-binary and non-binary and the LGBTQ plus individuals may also face additional stigmatization or violence because we don't know where they belong. You see how people used to refer to Bobrisky, right? Is she, him. Do you understand? So because they don't know where he belongs. Do you understand? So you see, even as I'm talking, I don't know where I'll categorize whether it's a he or it's a she. So they will also face deeper what stigmatization, because nobody is considered in the place of women, neither are they being considered in the place of men. So they regarded them as so they will face additional stigmatization and violence. Do you understand? So these are the issues. Then we'll talk about gender as a lens in conflict analysis. Gender as a lens, this camera lens. Gender as a lens in conflict analysis. All right. So gender shapes how individuals experience and participate in conflict and peace process. All right. Understanding gendered power dynamics can illuminate underlying causes of conflict and opportunities for resolution. So you have to carry out deep analysis on how gender is being, considered in conflict and in peace building. You understand? We believe that when women are being used in peace building, there's chances that we have an enduring and a long-term peace outcome. You understand? So, and if we look at it critically, countries where women are, are where countries where women are leaders, either prime ministers or either presidents, you see those countries are very, very peaceful. Talk about Poland, talk about Switzerland. You understand? Talk about Scotland, no, not Scotland. Talk about Iceland. You understand? All of those countries are being led by women, and they are largely the most peaceful countries in the world. Do you understand? Most peaceful countries in the world. And probably maybe that's the reason why America is finding it difficult to vote a woman into power. I get the point now. They will do and do and do enough, they will not vote. If the popular, if the woman managed to win the popular vote, the electoral college will will help you to lose the election. Why? Because they understand what America stands for. So leaving America in the hands of women is as good as, so they are afraid. I think that's why Hillary Clinton did not win election. She won Donald Trump in a popular vote, but when it comes to electoral vote, Donald Trump won her. When it comes to Kamala Harris, what happened? She did not even go near. Do you understand? Because she did not understand what it means to govern America. It was just being hyped, just at the campaign, inviting all the celebrities and identifying with groups that did not matter in America at all. At the end of the day, what happened? You lose both the popular and the electoral votes. Do you understand? Because you don't understand American politics. So gender analysis will go a long way to help. Um, but what I'm trying to say is that if you see America, they will not want to be in a position of Switzerland because we are, they are not being considered anywhere. You know, America is always poke nose here and there, because of several interests. Do you understand? They poke nose here and there. And so it's possible that voting a woman in power in America will take a long time for that to happen. Except by the time we start producing weapons. You understand? So women in peace building. So studies show that women's participation in peace process leads to more durable and inclusive agreements. Do you understand? So frameworks like UN Security Council Resolution 1325 on women, peace, and security emphasize the need for women inclusion. So we'll be looking at that UN resolution 1325. Do you understand? It has a lot to say on the inclusion of women in peace activities. Do you understand? So we talk about the issue of masculinities and conflicts. So dominant forms of masculinity, that is men, often linked to violence and dominance, can perpetuate cycles of conflict. So men are always playing the dominant role. Do you understand? So of course, in a situation like that, you experience violence. Do you understand? Mhm. Women by God's design, they are most submissive, right? But men are how? Do you understand? So that's what it is. So masculinity, so redefining masculinity and engaging men as allies in peace building is critical for long-term change. So we must engage men, both young children, and so that we can work on their orientation. So if we give them orientation of peace, it's possible that we can achieve peace. But men generally are being trained differently. If you look very well in African society, for instance, now the way we train men is different from the way we train ladies. Do you understand? Because a man is being trained to behave like you are a man. You begin to behave anyhow, they will flog you. Ask, are you a woman? They'll be asking you that question. So they expect you to behave like a man. Do you understand? So they'll carry heavy load and put on your head. Come on, carry the good. If you try and fall, they will flog you. You understand? Any mistake you fall, you receive flog, kings. Because they want you to be strong and preparing you for war. You understand? And if you look at it critically, almost all the countries of the world, they have people young people, or all of some of their members, some people, like for instance now, I think South Korea. I think that um, this guy that plays at Liverpool. I think Liverpool, and then later Tottenham, Song or whatever, in Song or whatever, John Song. After some time, he went and joined the military in his country, and he was trained as a military officer before he even returned. You understand? To continue playing his football. So it means that after retiring from football, he will go and join the military. Or anytime there is war, he will be called upon. That's what we call the reservation, the reserve, the military reserve in Israel. There is many young people are being trained and kept in reservation. Do you understand? So if there is any need for war, they will just call them quickly, come back, come and fight. And if you refuse to come, there's a punishment for it. So masculinity is a problem. So the dominant role, men plays dominant role. Do you understand? So sexual and gender-based violence. So HGBV is often used as a weapon of war to terrorize communities and assert control. So addressing it is central to justice and reconciliation efforts. So I want us to look at the impact of women, the impact of conflict on women and children, the impact of conflict on women and children. Right? I want us to look at it because this is quite profound and what is a multifaceted issue. And this thing affects their physical, emotional, social, and economic well-being. Conflict affects women and children physically, emotionally, socially, and economically. You understand? It affects them because they suffer the most. Psychological traumas, you know, men may not feel much of it. They may be suffering, but men can be so resilient in situations like that. But women are quite vulnerable. Vulnerable. They understand. So one, they cannot defend themselves. Two, they cannot do certain things. They understand. So it's a challenge. So let's look at key impacts of conflict on women. What are the key impacts of conflict on women? Sexual and gender-based violence, rapes, sexual slavery, forced pregnancies, and trafficking are often used as weapons of war to terrorize communities, weaken social cohesion, and assert control. I don't know whether Reno or Mokori or whatever, or Makori or Mokori. I don't know why he has stopped talking about return our Leah or whatever. That girl that was kidnapped in Europe in Yobe State some time ago. And what happened? They took her captive. I don't know. They said they had given her into marriage. Sometimes they say she has children. So many stories. Do you understand? All the commanders of Boko Haram, they were marrying her. When this one died, another one pick. You understand? You understand what we're trying to talk about? Some of them that were kidnapped from the school, what do you call that school? Um, Chibok. Some of them return with pregnancies. Some return with children. These are the ones that were kidnapped, or those that were not kidnapped. If they come for their operation, they rape girls, rape anybody. Do you understand? Attack, kill, and then do a lot of things, carry others just for their own pleasure. Because they are running and hiding in the bush. So if they don't do that, they'll begin to maybe turn into gear. Do you understand? So the best way is carry women, carry women, maltreat them, enslave them, force pregnancies. You see the impacts of conflict on women, right? Very terrible. Though, as I'm talking now, if you are not experiencing it, you may not understand. Until you experience it or your child is in that state that you understand what it means. Otherwise, you don't understand what it means. Until either you experience it or somebody close to you experience it, and you know that it's never. Some of them cannot survive it. You understand? Some of them, maybe because of that experience alone, they will end up dying prematurely. Nobody killed them, but the trauma, the experience, the devastation alone is enough to kill them. And those of them that escape, it's like they are traumatized. They can never be the same. Experience suicidal stigmatization, a lot of things. So their experience will never ever be the same again. And that's why some of them end up being so wicked, so being so brutal, some being so, several things. Survivors face long-term physical and psychological trauma, social stigma, and economic hardships. So you can see, right? So these are the issues. So that's why war is not good. War is not good because women do suffer the most in times of war. Even when those that come on peacekeeping, sometimes they are being accused of something like this: sexual abuse, sexual mutilation, gender mutilation, and sexual abuses. Do you understand? Even peacekeepers sometimes are being accused of this. So when you are causing trouble in your community, just be prepared that either your wife or your children or someone's children close to you will be suffering these things we are talking about. So this should be enough reasons why you forget about conflict. Number two impact of conflict on women is loss of livelihoods and economic marginalization. Women generally are economically marginalized. You understand? So when war or conflict, most especially armed conflict, is in place, their marginalization deepens. Do you understand? And of course, the means of livelihood is also what lost. They lost, they lose access to what employment and resources due to what displacement, because they are being displaced, or the destruction of infrastructure. So as caregivers, they bear the burden of providing for their families in the absence of traditional support system. What's the traditional support system? Where man is there to do what he's supposed to do. Man is in the bush fighting war. Some running out, run and left their family behind. No, nothing concerned them with whether they survive or not. So a woman will have to take care of the children, take care of the family. So how do you think she will survive? No job, No business. If she was doing one, war would displace her. She would be in a refugee camp or internally displaced persons camp. Let's look at another one. Health challenges. Conflict zones often lack adequate health care, exposing women to high risk during pregnancy and childbirth. Some of them, before the conflict came, they were pregnant. Some were having health challenges already. Do you understand? And in conflict zones, what happened? Hospitals are being shut down. And where they are operating under fear because you don't know what will happen again. You don't see what is happening in Gaza. Hospitals are being attacked, destroyed, because they believe that the Hamas tunnels are under those hospitals. So what do? They attack them. Now they kill people inside hospitals. You understand? Those that were having health challenges and they were managing them, they are dying already. So if you see Al Jazeera reporting over 42,000 people being killed during war, those are killed by maybe any war machinery, but those that die of hunger, those that died as a result of sickness, no hospital to treat them, those several factors are and then you understand. So if you escape a bullet, you will not escape the wrath of hunger or the wrath of ailment. So that's what happened. So death, either death from bullet or death from hunger or death from diseases, all of these are weapons in war zones. Do you understand? So if Israel say no more supply of humanitarian aid, you know the consequences. It means that many people will die. That's the consequence. Children malnourished. I'm even coming to the children as well. I'm talking about women now. So, so you see that. So sexual violence also leads to increased cases of sexually transmitted infections, including HIV and AIDS and untreated injuries. So what becomes of them? Devastating stories. See, these things I'm talking about. If you like, if you go close to okay, I'm talking about Gaza. That is too far. For those of us that are in Nigeria, those that were in the northeast understand what I am talking about. It was not a good experience at all. Some left Borno State, some left northeast, never to return. Even even if conflict ends today, they are not willing to go back because of what they saw. It's their own hometown. It's their own home, but they don't want to go there again because of what they experienced. I graduated from University of Maiduguri in 2008, right? So, but I was waiting for my clearance, so I have to go back to the University of Maiduguri for my clearance and posting for NYC in 2009. We finished in 2008, 2009, the thing started and became so intensified. You understand? So that you can practically see bullets flying here and there. It was not a good experience, not at all. I experienced a small, I experienced at the time they were doing that thing, as of 2009. It was not, they were not basically facing the people yet. It was nothing concerned them with people on the street. They were basically destroying government properties because their anger was towards the government because they say government promises them to support their activities when they win election. Now government has won election, they turn their back on them. So they felt that they were cheated. So they were targeting government properties. And government also was trying to like take them out of the way because they considered the ideology to be wrong one. Do you understand? So, but the government at that time, that's the state government I'm talking about, at that time, you know, pamper them to some extent. But after the second tenure, they did not want to pamper them again. And that was what led to what became of what we saw. So at that time when they started, it was government properties, government properties. When I was in Medjugorje at that time, we went to one government area where government bought these tricycles. They put them in one place, tricycles. They burned that place, all the tricycles. They bought them for empowerment purposes. But these guys burnt it, everything. Over thousands of those tricycles were burnt down. You understand? I was there, I witnessed it live and direct. But they were not attacking ordinary people moving around. Do you understand? Until when their leader was killed. That was when even the citizens began to feel it. You understand? So they did what they wanted to do. So political and social marginalization. Women are often excluded from decision-making processes in conflict and post-conflict settings, limiting their ability to advocate for their own needs. So that's why we're talking about equality, right? Equality. So women should be included into key decisions making, most especially as it concerns peace activities. When men are going on special invoice, it's just men. All special invoice assignments, you see mostly men. It was recent I was start seeing women like the former president of Liberia, no, Sierra Leone, former president of Sierra Leone, Johnson Sirleaf, going for all those peacekeeping or special invoice activities with Goodluck Jonathan and the rest of them. You understand, President Goodluck Jonathan, former president of Nigeria. Uh-huh. So, it has not been as easy as it is. See, recently I saw the Prime Minister of Barbados. She was making case for global peace. You understand? So she gave one of the best world speech. I love the way she presented the matter. Do you understand? Very powerful. Very, very powerful. I fall in love with that woman. You understand? No, I mean, people should not misquote me. No, I say I fall in love. I fall in love with what she is doing, so that many people will not come and misquote me. And I say I fall in love, so I should go and marry her. No, that's not what I'm saying. But the way she presented the matter and talked so authoritatively, so influential. So social norms may restrict women's mobility and participation in rebuilding efforts. Yes, women are limited on several fronts. Do you understand? Some of them may not have the experience. Some of them may not be in position of leadership like that. Do you understand? So it limits their abilities to do certain things. Do you understand? But men always have the opportunity to move forward, do a lot of things, and that connectivity, psychological and emotional trauma. So the loss of loved ones, exposure to violence, and prolonged uncertainty contribute to high levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. The breadwinners are in the field fighting. So what happened? In the battlefield fighting. So what happened? You don't know when they will come back, whether they are alive or not. And you know women. So if they call for war, don't encourage it. If you're a woman here, your husband is doing here, hey, I will show them people. I will show them people. Say, honey, please. I'm still young, you see. I'm still vibrating. I'm still agile. I don't want to be a widow. Calm down. Calm down. We'll find a way of resolving this matter. Do you understand? So don't push your husband to go and start a war that you yourself you come and become a widow. So if the husband is showing man, you know, they always show man, I will show them me in this community. Madam, tell your oga, calm down. Whatever it is, even if you my father taught me something and I so much love what my father taught me. Do you understand? When my father returned from the military, he refused to fight for plot of land. He refused to engage in anything like we make bring him confrontation with his brothers. Do you understand? So it's what they gave him that he collected. Any other thing, he didn't ask any question. Do you understand? He did not ask a question. In fact, the one he collected, he even planted orange there. Do you understand? He planted orange there. So he went and bought a plot somewhere where we are where they are now in my village. Do you understand? It's the one that he bought. Those that came back and were fighting for plot of land, all of them died. You understand? So you come, we say you are coming back from the military, so your blood is hot. So all of them died. Some came and started conflicts in their own community, conflict that started with individual. It spread and escalated to become a community or clans versus another clan. And it destroyed the kind of destruction we saw was massive. So women in the house, we understand. Sometimes I'll take my decision, my wife will not be comfortable with me, but for me, I say this is my decision or nothing. One, I don't want to engage in unnecessary issues because I always consider my time as very, very important for me. I consider my work that I'm doing very important. So I consider some of the things as distractions. So far as they are not affecting my life directly, as in, it's not threatening my life, my existence. I don't give it attention at all. For me, I consider it to be a distraction. So I refuse to involve myself into it. It doesn't matter how you look at it. Consider me to be a weak person, consider me to be whatever you want to consider. It's none of my business. I don't care. Do you understand? I understand all of those things. I understand it. So please, if somebody is vibrating, you are gingering the person, you're not helping the person. Whether is a fellow man or whatever, pay them to calm down. Because let me tell you the truth, it's not everybody that wants you alive. Oh. Some people are looking at you, they're just looking for opportunity to just finish you. So don't start it. Do you understand? Don't give them that opportunity. That's the truth. Don't give them that opportunity. Just so the loss of loved ones, exposure to violence, and prolonged uncertainty contribute to high level stress, anxiety, and what depression. So if you loved your loved ones, don't start war, don't start a fight, because it will not only consume you, it will consume even your loved ones as well. So I'm talking to the men in the house here as well. Men, right? Be calming down, oh. Calming down, calming down. So let's look at key impacts of conflict on children. Loss of education. Schools are often destroyed or repurposed during conflict, disrupting children's education. You understand? So these are the issues. All those Chibok girls that were kidnapped. At that time, you ask children to go to school, they'll say, for where? You want me to come and be kidnapped? School closed down. Yes, even the ones that were on, there was no motivation to go to school anymore. Do you understand? Because they were targeted. So no more going to school. A child is supposed to finish school at age how many? 16. Finish high school is still in primary. Why? Because of war. And in a place where they say Western education was haram, so what do you expect? You go to school, Abi? Because Boko Haram is Western education is haram. Do you understand? So no going to school. You go to school, you are okay. So what do you expect? For how many years? So some school they were now doing some of them were in camp receiving training there. That's what we call repurposed. You understand? So girls are particularly vulnerable to being pulled out of school due to early marriages or household responsibilities. When the situation is like that, do you expect the gay children to be going to school? Being removed from school. You understand? Give them into marriage or be at home and be running some house chores. Recruitment as child soldiers. I think we heard some of these stories during Boko Haram activities here. Even the Taliban's, you see the children being joined. ISIS, children being joined. You understand? So many children are forcibly recruited by armed groups and used as fighters, porters, or informants. Do you understand? The Hamas are also using children. Some as informant. They will be passing a thing say it's a child, it's a lie. It's an informant. Gays may also be exploited as wives or subjected to sexual slavery. All right. Gays may also be exploited as wives, in quote, or subjected to sexual slavery. So yeah, make use of gays, you know, all those things. I don't want to go into details. You know it. Physical harms and death. Physical harm and death. Children are directly harmed by violence or indirectly through malnutrition. That's what is happening in Gaza now. Malnutrition. We see some of the pictures, you know, you just shed tears. If you see some of the pictures, you wouldn't want to just look at it again. You just carry your face. Malnutrition, disease, and lack of medical care. Landmines and unexploded ordnance pose long-term risks to children in post-conflict areas. You understand? But there are some things that they planted for explosion, but they did not explode. They are just there, but time will come that they will explode. So maybe when everything is done, finished, and everybody know that trouble has come to an end, it will be exploded. So what do you expect? Displacement and family separation. Conflict often results in displacement, forcing children into what? Into refugees camps or urban slums with poor living conditions. Because some of those things that happened in the Northeast, there was mass exodus of people from the Northeast to other neighboring states, some to Abuja, some even made their way out of Nigeria. Do you understand? Most especially those that were in a way to do homes, they were moved out of Nigeria to other countries. Do you understand? Where they consider more peaceful. You understand? Many children lost their parents or are separated from their families, becoming vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. Physical trauma. Children are also exposed to violence, the death of loved ones, and the destruction of their homes can lead to post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression. And the impact of this is that this kind of children will grow up. You want them to be peaceful. If they are peaceful, then it takes the grace of God for them to be peaceful. But a child who lost their parents or his or her parents in time of war, it's a very bad experience. And not very many will want to let go. Very many will want to revenge. Just revenge on the society for the deaths of their parents. The impact of that trauma will remain with them. My parents were key. The reason why I cannot afford to go to school. My parents were key. The reason why I cannot afford a good house. My parents were key. The reason why I cannot afford a good meal. My parents were key. The reason why I'm stranded in life. That thinking will lead to something else. Become drunkards, smokers, will become anything, terrorists, kidnappers, criminals, anything can happen. We only take the grace of God for a good number not to follow such path. Gendered impact on women and children. Women and children are often the primary caregivers in households, making them particularly vulnerable when families are displaced or disrupted. Cultural and social stigmas around sexual violence disproportionately affect women and gays, further marginalizing them in post-conflict societies. Boys may face pressure to engage in violence, while gays are at high risk of forced marriage or exploitation in times of instability. So these are gendered impacts. Do you understand? So what are the long-term consequences of this? The long-term consequences is that intergenerational impact. Intergenerational impact. I'm telling you that a child who died, who lost his or her parents in war, will never forget that. If anything negative happens to them, it reminds them of the death of their parents. They will say, assuming my parents were alive, I wouldn't find myself here. I wouldn't be like this. Do you understand? Have you imagined? Look at this picture. Just paint this kind of picture in your mind. Baby bears that lost their mother that fear them, take care of them. Maybe a hunter killed the mother in the bush. Why she went to look for food, come and get the baby bears. And then she never returned. They are just waiting. waving their mouth, doing like this, nothing for them. Rather, it will attract the attention of snakes. It will attract the attention of vultures. It will attract the attention of the eagles. It will attract the attention of, mention them. That is exactly how children who lost loved ones are. Do you understand? Anything can attack them, anything can confront them, and they will not survive it because there's no protection, there's no cover, there's nothing, no support. Very terrible situation, right? So if you want to fight war, if you want to fight Oga for because of peace of land, peace of land, peace of land. Now, that piece of land, one for instance, one that if it's 100 by 100, it's only 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet only that you are entitled to. Should you even die, you are not taking anything anywhere. So it's a waste of time. Like me, like this, I have made up my mind. We are 8 in my family, 8 of us, 4 girls, 4 boys. I have made up my mind ever since that I don't have a share in my father's property. Do you understand? I made up my mind. In fact, even if they say I should come and take, I say I don't have a hand in me, I don't need it. Do you understand? I made up my mind that whatever my father has is his. I don't need it. I'll look for my own. I made up my mind ever since. So you don't expect me to go to the village and begin to fight for property, for, for a plot of land. It's not me. You will not catch me. Do you understand? This never. So if you are there fighting for plot of land, for those of you that come from regions where fighting for piece of land is a big thing, you look at it, say, this is my father's, my great great grandfather, where they farm. So it's our land. Calm down, oh. Just think about your wife, think about your children. Oh. And if you are in a city where your children are, where you think about other people's children, don't go and start a war in the city, in the village, while your children are in the city, oh, because anything can happen. Please, people should be coming down a bit. I'm talking to you because some of you may be experiencing such like that in your community now, and you'll be wondering what to do. You'll be mobilizing forces to fight war. Calm down, no, because that war may consume you. That plot of land that you're talking about, someone else will come and take it. So just do all you can and prove that this land belongs to you. But if they refuse to give it to you, leave it to God. Let God handle it. Do you understand? And if you don't believe in God, whatever you believe in, let that thing handle it. Because I know you must believe in something. So let that thing handle it. Intergenerational impact. Generation upon generation will come and suffer this thing. Consequences, poverty, instability. Perpetuating these things is possible. My father did not enjoy his freedom, so nobody will enjoy freedom in this place, so far as I'm concerned. What my father suffered, people in this community must suffer it. What I passed through, nobody will. I cannot be here and people experience peace when me, I don't have peace. No way. Then you just be terrorizing the community. Do you understand? So please, let's calm down. Let's learn how to forgive people easily and move forward. I personally, I don't have an enemy. I say it, I am proud of always saying it. I don't have, not that people have not offended me. In fact, I should have more reason to have enemies, but me, no, no way. It doesn't matter how you hurt me. For me, nothing is so important in this world. Nothing. Even if you come and collect this job, I will still thank God and move forward. So that is me for you. So nothing worries me. So disruption to social structures affect entire communities for decades. For decades. Let me give one experience. In my own community, in my own local government, there's one place I said this here before. I used to pass. They built fine, fine house, orange farms were there, you know, and the orange started producing. Do you understand? So one day the two clans started a fight over a plot of land. It was two people that were claiming from different clans, claiming that piece of land. These two people mobilized forces and it became a collective, a group conflict. Before you knew what was happening, they started fighting, killing, burning the houses. You know, the so if we build a fine zinc house, it must go down before the war will end. Do you understand? Orange orchards, they call it catras. Some of them bring this sewing something machine that used to cut trees. They were cutting it like, as I'm telling you, today that community has never recovered. It's more than 10 years now. They have never recovered. In fact, they will never even recover from it. They will never recover from what happened to them. For them to recover, it will take them more than 100 years to even recover. Do you understand? Because some of them retire from civil service, came back with their pension, build a house just to rest. That event happened. What happened? Everything lost, everything destroyed, everything is gone. They are in poverty now, deep one. So please, let's calm down. Anytime a thought to fight comes into your mind, just for the sake of your wife and your children, say hands up. Whatever it is, let it go. If it's a matter that you can be able to take for adjudication, for arbitration, for mediation, bring it. We are going to establish a mediation center. You understand? So that you can bring your matters to the institute will help you to resolve. You understand? So we are going to create that in next year. It's one of the things that we are doing next year. We'll do it, announce it so that anybody who has a case and want our help to intervene, either business matter, landed matter, anything, we can help as much as possible. We're not charging you. So far as you people want us to mediate, we will mediate as to the best of our knowledge. No issue. Do you understand? So these are the issues. Please, but don't fight for a piece of land. Don't fight. It doesn't matter. That piece of land does not worth your life. It does not worth anything. In fact, if you are alive, God will bless you with money. You buy hectares of land. Do you understand? Forget whether it's in your community or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like me now, if I so choose now, I will just tell my children, if I die, don't take me to my village. Bury me anywhere that's convenient for you. Do you understand? All those things now, whether they take you to your village, you will not wake up. You understand? So it's rubbish. So why should you go and fight for a piece of land in the village? Say, when I die, they should come and bury me there. Oh, when will if I die, where will they bury me? That shouldn't be your concern. Your concern should be, if I die now, where would I be? Where is my soul going? That should be your concern, not where your body will be buried. Body, this thing is is sand. Do you understand? So giving too much attention to it. It's wrong. So that is my own philosophy. So I don't know you about you. Some of you take this thing so personally and they value it too much. And you talk about ancestral, and you see this is the reason why the conflict between Palestine and Israel is still persisting because of these things, religious artifacts, landed issues, and all those things are the ones that are elongating that conflict. If they are willing to say, okay, without Jerusalem, without whatever, we don't need it, give us a space that we can call it our own. We are okay with that. We can go and build our own Jerusalem. We can go and build our own stories. Do you understand? Build whatever mosque we want and invite God from where God is to come inside. I don't think this war should have persisted the way it persisted up to this very moment. Do you understand? So, but people are dying. We don't know when it will end, and we don't know how many lives will go for it before it will become whatever they want to get or what it's going to be. I don't know. But for me, it's a waste of lives for nothing. Lives are more precious than gold. They are more precious than what they call it, land. Some of the Palestinian children are in in America, they are in Switzerland, they will never go home. Nothing concerns them. So why waste your time? You can live your life anywhere and fulfill whatever God has for you to fulfill in life. You understand? That is it. So barriers to recovery. Women and children often face systemic barriers in accessing justice, healthcare, and resources in post-conflict settings. You understand? One, they don't even have the resources to begin to chase any of those things, to even go and seek for justice, to go and seek healthcare even in the first place, and those resources. So it's a problem. It's a problem. You understand? So mitigation and support strategies, legal and policy frameworks. So enforcing international laws against SGBV, such as the Rome Statute and UN Security Council Resolution on Women, Peace and Security, will go a long way to help. Strengthening child protection laws and monitoring recruitment into arms groups will also help. You understand? So that children will not be recruited into arms groups. They are not supposed to be there at all. Let the adults go and do it if they so choose to, but not children. Not children. Humanitarian assistance, providing access to healthcare, psychological support. So, now recent, the Minister of ACT demolished houses in Sabonlugbe here. Many people are in a state of coma, traumatized. Some of them, they are earning for this city. They invested and built houses there. And then one day you woke up and demolished everything without any form of compensation. You pursue them, they are going some, I don't know where they're going. Please, we have work to do. You understand? We have so much work to do. If you are in that state, what will you do? Assuming it's your house now with your own children now, the house is demolished. Where will you go? So we have work to do. And for us in Abuja here, it's always like that. The indigenous people in Abuja here, some of them are destitute in their land. All right. So setting up safe spaces for women and children in refugee and internally displaced persons at DP camps. All right. So empowerment programs, offer offering vocational training and financial support to help women rebuild their lives. establishing trauma-informed education program for children affected by war. So that's why we say you people should be form alumni so that you can help in times like this. Some of you in your countries, you understand, you can also organize, mobilize resources and support people like this. Train people on vocational skills. Like next year, we'll be training people on vocational skills, shoemaking, um, poultry farming, fish farming. We train them and empower them. We mobilize resources and empower people. Because one of the reasons why people go into war is because of poverty, hunger, lack of something to do. So young people who are jobless, we engage them, train them, give them skills, give them empowerment, and help them to stand. You understand? So by so doing, we'll be reducing trouble in our society. So establishing trauma-informed education programs for children affected by war. So all of this will help. So inclusive peace building. So ensuring the participation of women in peace negotiation and post-conflict decision making. Promoting gender-sensitive approaches to recovery and reconciliation. These things I'm saying we are going to do next year. You also can start a social enterprise. I'm going to organize that training for you people, either March next year or February, as it is. I'm considering another course for that February, human rights and justice. Human rights and justice, or human rights education and justice. Also. I'm considering that course. But if we have that course, social enterprise, or maybe I don't know. I'm just thinking of what to do so that we can have that training. Because that one, it may not be up to 1 month training. That social enterprise management, how to start and manage a social enterprise. It may not be up to a month's training. So I'm looking at the time we can organize it. It may be high as 2 weeks or 1 week's training. Do you understand? So let's look at the role of women in peace building. We don't have so much time left, but we have a lot to do here. The role of women in peace building, right? The role of women in peace building. Let's look at some of the key contributions of women in peace building. One, conflict prevention and mediation. Like I said before, women are in the forefront of preventing conflict. There are some of them are the ones that are helping us to not to fight. There are some that will pushing you to fight. There are some that will say, "My husband, see, I don't want to. I love you so much. Eh? You are a mother of my children. You are a father of my children. I don't want anything to happen to you. Let it be. I'm okay with whatever that you have for us. Do you understand? Whatever that is not for us, is not for us. Don't go and fight any war for us. Do you understand? So if you give that your husband this kind of assurance, and you are telling him that whatever you have, you are contented with it, and whatever that is not yours, don't fight for it. Don't just forget it. Let it go. Then I'm telling you that our society will be very, very peaceful. Sometimes the reason why men fight is because the woman is saying, don't allow them to cheat on you like that. If they cheat on you, they will be calling you names. You understand? Don't allow them to look at you as a weak person. Show them that you are also man enough. They ginger you until you go and enter what you don't want to enter. You understand? You are man enough. Yeah. How can they come? If you allow it, the next time they will still come. Please don't ginger your husband like that. Too. Reason with your husband. Let him find another way. If he does not have money to go and seek for justice somewhere, or if he cannot address any of the centers available to help, please don't push him. Because if he enters and anything happens to him, except you are telling us that you go and marry another man and continue with your life. But if you really love your husband, don't push him to go and start a war or fight a war. There are you can fight war, but strategically, diplomatically, not to go and be doing as if we have the monopoly of power. So women act as informal mediator, resolving disputes within families and communities before they escalate into larger conflict. Informal mediators. That's what I'm saying. You mediate. You tell your husband, my husband, calm down, calm down. My 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 cute husband. That's how sometimes my wife will call me all those names. My cute, handsome, young, energetic husband. Do you understand? So calm down so that you understand that kind of thing. Informal mediators. So grassroots women networks have successfully prevented violence in regions such as Liberia and Colombia. So grassroots women. So form women association in your communities so that you begin to teach women. So in your women now, some of you here, you belong to women association. What you are learning here, go and train your fellow women in your own association. Request for the leadership of the association. Let them give opportunity so they can organize this kind of training for the fellow women. Or invite them to come and take this kind of training, to join this training. Do you understand? So that they can learn some of these things. It will help us a lot. It will help us a lot. You know, some women are iron women. Oh. Ha, I have one in my place. Who she used to beat the husband. Oh. She used to beat the husband. She will carry the husband, put on her head, be moving with it. She will knock him on the ground and place her foot on him. And then she will stand and be crying. She's beating the husband, oh, but she's the one crying. Oh. She'll be shouting and be crying and be making noise. If we don't come, and the husband will kill her. Oh, we will rush. And when we got there, we saw who is beating who here now. You are standing on your husband and you are saying your husband, if you don't come, the husband will kill you. I understand. So women can be very powerful, but if they are like that, you, the husband, be calming them down. Calm down, madam. Calm down. Don't worry. I will address it. I will address it. You just calm down. I will address it. I will address it. Every day they talk to you. Don't worry. I'm doing something. I will address it. I'll address it until you come and tell them, see, I just wanted you to have that because I don't want us to go into such a thing. Find a good thing and explain to them and let them advise. I'm not saying you should go and deceive your wife, but I'm saying just, in conflicts, if the emotions are high, you will not be able to do anything. So by the time you calm down the person to a level, you can talk to the person to reason with you. It's easy for them to reason with you. But when the tensions are high, nobody will listen to you. Nobody will listen to you. So calm down. Promoting inclusive peace processes. Do you understand? Promoting what? Inclusive peace processes. Women advocate for issues often overlooked in male-dominated negotiations, such as human rights, gender equality, and social justice. Their participation ensures that peace agreements address the needs of community members, not just combatants. All right. So, rebuilding social cohesion. Women play vital roles in healing divided societies by fostering dialogues and reconciliation. Advocacy for human rights and justice. So, women campaign for accountability and justice for atrocities, including sexual violence and war crimes. Yes, I have some women groups here that fought for women that are facing domestic violence. When they see it, they take it up and make sure that the woman get justice. Do you understand? I saw one video. I think I explained. I told you where women gathered around a woman that was being maltreated by the husband all the time. They grabbed the husband, flog him like never before. Do you understand? That is a raw one, but there are other better ways we can address the issue. But they use the raw, they use cane, flog the guy very well. If they ask that guy to beat his wife again, he will say, no, these women are not smiling at all. I will not try it again. Do you understand? So, women advocate for human rights and justice. So, economic reconstruction, women contribute to rebuilding economies by engaging in livelihood programs, entrepreneurship, and cooperatives. Peace education and youth engagement, women teach peace and conflict resolution skills to younger generations, helping to break cycles of violence. So, women, if you have not been doing it, do it. You know, I have Dr. Obi. She's doing a lot. You understand? Moving from schools to establish peace clubs in Anambra State. So she's doing a lot, right? She's doing a great job. Challenges women face in peace building, exclusion from formal peace processes, because sometimes when they are going on special invoice, not very many of them are being included. So it is not too good. Cultural norms and patriarchal systems limit their participation in decision making. Like in Nigeria, for instance, now, mostly in the northern part of the country, most women are not being included. You understand? They're not being included. And they're supposed to be included. But cultural issues sometimes limit their participation. In fact, and in most societies, not just in the north, like this issue of peace of land I'm talking about in my place. When this thing was happening, it was a woman that was the local government chairman. You understand? And so she came to intervene in that conflict. Do you know what they told her? They say they told her that women don't intervene in conflict. She should go and sit down. Nobody's going to listen to her. It's men that are fighting it. Women want to come and stop them. You understand? So they pursue her. She left. She refused. She said she's not going to do anything on it again. She left. At the end of the day, government took it over. The state government took over the land, gave to a missionary. They built the Catholic church there with a school. You understand? So that's it. Security risk. Women peace builders frequently face threats, harassment, and violence, particularly in regions where activism is dangerous. Yes, sometimes women go out to go and do their activism, but they're not. You see what happened in Iran? Do you remember when one lady was being arrested, detained, and then eventually she died as a result of not wearing hijab or something of that nature also, or her tie was not properly being covered or whatever. Do you understand? And then she was being, detained, and then eventually she died. You see, women came out to protest, but you see how they still crack down on them. Do you understand? So all of those things. So these are the issues. Economic and social barriers. Women in post-conflict societies often lack access to resources, education. If you look at in Afghanistan now, so many they say gays should not go to school. Now that the Taliban are in government, they say gays should not go to school. Examples of women in peace building: Lema Bowe and the Liberian Women's Peace Movement. Women organized non-violent protests, including a sex strike, to pressure leaders to end Liberia's civil war. Their effort contributed to the 2000 on 3 peace agreement. Sex strike. That is my husband, as I will date you, shishi, you are not going to see it. They wear 3 trousers, 4 trousers, and sleep with it. Husband, no near me until we must get peace in this country. Otherwise, you are not going to see me. No. We'll be in the same house, but I'm no, I'm no longer your wife. Sex strike. Do you understand that kind of thing? Man, do you imagine it? Say maybe say women can go for 1 month, they don't care. But you, Kai, it's just 1 week. Some men cannot endure it for 1 week. So imagine you are in this kind of situation. 1 week. So what will you do? Do you understand? You go to look for peace. You go and sign agreement. Hi, that was a very good strategy. So, but they got the peace, actually, relative peace. Liberia is enjoying relative peace. Do you understand? So that is it. Okay, Colombia women in peace negotiation. Women influenced the inclusion of gender provisions in the 2016 peace agreement between the Colombian government and the FARC rebels. Right? Rwanda post-genocide recovery, women play a vital role in rebuilding Rwanda after the 1994 genocide, holding over 60% of the parliamentary seats. You can imagine that. 60% of parliamentary seats and championing progressive policies. You can imagine that. We need that here. Policy frameworks supporting women in peace building. UN Security Council Resolution 1325 highlights the importance of that. I think we need to talk about it. That's the last topic I'm going to treat here. So people should just there are some certain things I'm going to jump for. If when you have the manual, you go through them. All right. Ways to enhance women's role in peace building, inclusive policy and quotas, capacity building and education, like what we are doing here now. Financial support for women initiatives. That's why women that are participating in this training are so much appreciate you for taking your time to participate. You understand? So it will help you to fight more for your rights and also help you to contribute more to peaceful society. Strengthening protection mechanism, awareness and advocacy, and all of that. So let's look at the UN Security Council Resolution 1325 on the Women, Peace and Security Agenda. All right. So this is what we want to look at. So this particular resolution was adopted on October 31st, 2000. United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 marked a historic turning point in international recognition of the unique impact of women or the unique impact of conflict on women and the critical role women play in conflict prevention, resolution, and peace building. So this resolution 1325 is the foundation of the broader women, peace, and security agenda. You understand? So which seeks to integrate gender perspective into peace and security frameworks. So what are the key pillars of this resolution? One, participation. One is what? Participation. It calls for increased representation of women at all levels of decision making. At all levels. That's why Nigeria came here and was talking about what? Affirmative, 40% affirmative what? That they say that in appointment in whatever government appointment, do you understand? At least 40% of the appointees must be women. Do you understand? So it's from this because of this resolution. So they're trying to create a space for women. You understand? So women, you people should try and take over so that you can create space for us. Give us 40%, you carry 60%. I think our society will be more peaceful. But the challenge is that when Sarah Jubilee contested for presidency in this country, you people refuse to give. Some women will delegate to women will delegate, but they did not give their fellow women. They go and give. So the woman got one vote, which was from her from herself. Protection urges the protection of women and girls from gender-based violence, including rape and what other forms of sexual violence during and after conflict. So this is what this resolution is saying. So saying that women should be protected, girls should be protected from rapes. So in case now, maybe for instance now you are a peacekeeper and you go and do this kind of a thing, you face punishment though. So advocate for enforcement of international law to address violence against women. So those of you that perpetuate violence against, some of you beat your wives. Some of you beat your wives. Oh. Beat your wives. Some of you, okay, let me just, if I say beat, it may sound too big to you. So let's forget about beating. Some of you talk your wives into depression. You talk her into depression. That is, you talk her into low self-esteem. You make your wife to be a shadow of herself. That is, you cannot amount to anything. Look at you. You that are picking from nowhere that I'm helping you. Who? So you have the God to talk to me. I'll put you in your place. So all forms, you may not be beating her, but all forms of maltreatment and the words, the choice of the words you use on her alone are keeping her in internally. Do you understand? So stop choking your wives, please, with your words. I'm saying it from experience. Do you understand? At the early stage of a marriage, something like this was happening. And then I sit down and I say, no, 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 no. It shouldn't be happening. I think my wife should be my best friend. Should be everything, you know, and she should be proud and confident and be, you know, you know, to face whatever she wants to face. You understand? And become whatever she wants to become. In fact, I wanted her to do something else. She said no, she wants something else. You understand? And I try all I can. She said no, she wants something else. I was seeing it from my own perspective. But one day I sat down and said, no, 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 let me look from the perspective of this woman. Because maybe this is what she wants. And then I decided to put some little effort towards what she wanted. Today, I can tell you, my wife ordered things from China and all of that. Do you understand? I'm doing a lot of things for myself. Do you understand? So it's not just about, so give them, support them, encourage them, not to talk them down, talk them into depression. You know, sometimes the words we use on people have so negative impact. Do you understand? So they're not good. Just calm down. Use the right words. Use encouraging and motivating words. Then you see the goodness side of people. But if we are being negative, you begin to see the negative side of them manifesting. So if you want to see a good from anybody, be it woman or man, just give them the positive, and then you see the positive aspect of them manifesting. But if you are giving them the negative, of course, it's just expect the same thing in return. If you are insulting your wife always and she's keeping quiet, just wait and watch. One day she will react to a point that you'll be imagining whether it's your wife or whatever. You understand? Or even a child, even your own son, your own child, your own daughter. So prevention emphasizes this particular resolution also emphasizes the need to prevent conflict by addressing their root causes, including gender inequality and women's marginalization, because these are also root causes of conflict. When women are not empowered, when women are excluded, when women are not being considered for anything. So we you women as for just in the older room, like one former president said, it belongs to my older room. Which kind of older room? It belongs to kitchen and older room, one older room. Which older room? Give Madam space, let her go and fulfill her potential. She also have her own potentials. You understand? Relief and recovery. Relief and recovery calls for the integration of gender consideration into humanitarian assistance and post-conflict recovery efforts. Right? So, what's the significance of this resolution? Recognition of women's agency. Right? For the first time, women were formally recognized essential contributors to peace and security, challenging traditional perception of women as only victims of war or victims of conflict or victims of war or as weaker sex. You understand? No. So gender mainstreaming in peace and security introduce gender sensitivity into our international peace and security agenda. Legal and policy frameworks provided a normative frameworks for promoting gender equality in conflict and post-conflict settings. So there are challenges because the implementation has been the issue. So what are the challenges? Lack of representation. Lack of representation. Women are still underrepresented. Even the Nigerian government is talking about 40% affirmative action. How many women are ministers in Nigeria now? How many of them? How many of them are ministers in Nigeria now? Weak enforcement mechanism, cultural and structural barriers. Yes, there are cultural and structural barriers that affect women. Failure to address sexual violence are also the challenge. So do we have success stories? Yes, we have success stories in Liberia, for instance, and then the success story produced a first woman president in Liberia, which is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Do you understand? So, and she's part of those women that used to go on special envoys today. Do you understand? So that is it. So Colombia, women's organizations successfully advocated for gender-specific provisions in the 2016 peace agenda or peace agreement between the Colombian government and the rebels. Do you understand? Rwanda also is there. So this is the much we can take for today. The remaining stories, you read them when you have the manual. All right. There are other stories, but when you have the manual, you can go deep into it. And also, you can decide to search for materials on these things I'm talking about elsewhere, not just depending on what we have here. All right. So that's it. So thank you very much. Any question? Any observation? Somebody's asking, what's the full meaning of SGBV? That's sexual and gender-based violence. Sexual and what? Gender-based violence. So that is what it is. Violence. Any other question? Somebody's asking me when am I releasing the handout. Uh, the handout is coming. Oh, it's coming. It will come like. Somebody's asking me how lucrative is this profession. Yeah. You can also imagine yourself how lucrative it is. But I think it is lucrative in terms of what? Uh, lucrative in terms of what? There are so many things like there is so many. In fact, when it comes to peace and conflict, say man. One thing, there are two things that man try to address in lifetime: peace and conflict. Because man is perpetually having conflict, and man perpetually need peace to fulfill other destinies. Do you understand? If you don't have peace, you cannot fulfill any destiny. And in the course of trying to fulfill destiny, even when you have peace, conflict will arise. So you can see by that, just by this reasoning, understand how lucrative this profession is. The whole existence of United Nations is about peace and security. The whole essence of the United Nations is about peace and security. The whole existence of all of these regional groups is about peace and security. And then when they successfully achieve peace, then you see development. You understand? That's what the European, even the European Union or whatever, you understand? Once they have successfully achieved peace in Europe, you understand? And so development is effortless going on. For places where peace has not been achieved, development is a struggle. That's why we see development struggles here in Africa. You understand? So this discipline is as lucrative as you can imagine. Just imagine it, and you see how lucrative it is. Somebody is asking what membership categories can be allowed for a person that had passed 3 courses of the institute. If you have no any other qualification at all, but you have some maybe few years of work experience, we can consider you for associate membership. All right. But if you have any other qualification, we may consider you for full membership. All right. So that is it. So if you have any qualification before, you have several years of work experience, we consider you for a higher category. But the minimum we can consider if you don't have any other qualification is associate. All right. Thank you very much. I want to answer your questions, sir. So, any other questions? So, let me just tell you something. Our annual convention is coming up next week, Saturday. It's not this Saturday, next week, Saturday is going to be our annual convention. And so far, so good. Um, 2 senators will be in our midst. That is for now. This is the confirmation we have. We may have more. And so we want those of you that want, and then we have other important dignitaries that are also going to be in our midst. Do you understand? We have traditional rulers will be. That means we have important other dignitaries to be in our midst. So if you are not applied to attend our convention, you can Apply to attend, even if you are not a member. Or you can try to apply to be inducted on that day because we'll be having induction on that Saturday as well in Abuja here. So if you want to be part of this event, you can also apply to be inducted on that day, and then you'll have opportunity to interact with these people. So and if you are a member of the institute and you are here to pay for your convention, please go and pay your fee for the convention so you're part of the convention. A lot of things are going to happen. A lot networking and beautiful other things will happen. So just come, all right? So please try and part of the event that is coming up. Uh-huh. So why are some of us still not assigned to groups? We are not assigning anybody. Just the links. Even as I'm talking to you now, some links are being posted in the group. So go and click on it and join any of the groups. Maybe there may be some links that are waiting for me. I'll still post them in the group. Go and join. Don't say we sign. We don't assign. We post the link. Your job is to go and join. You understand? So join. Is it OND alone this institute can offer? What of HND or BSc, and is it affiliated to any university? We were doing an affiliated program, a BSc per se, masters and PGD programs that were affiliated, academic programs, which were affiliated with the university in Benin Republic. But with the federal government issues, we have to hold on a bit when they were talking about schools in Benin Republic and all of that. So we have to hold on a bit. But we are looking at other affiliation. We have approached other universities like University of Ilorin, University of Port Harcourt. We also approached other universities in Uganda to see how we can collaborate. So I would like to. So an academic program will be coming up shortly. Be on the lookout. By next year, hopefully, we will advertise for new admissions. So, but we on our own as an institute, we don't have the status, we don't have the mandate to organize HND or BSc training or academic courses on our own accord. We don't have that capacity. That's not our mandate, except we choose to. But for now, we have not applied for such mandate. Do you understand? Our mandate is professional training, right? So, but we can run a university, we can run degree programs, master's programs, even PhD programs in affiliation. We can run it. We can run it in affiliation with other universities. But as a mandate of the institute on its own, we don't have that mandate. It's not there. We have not until we have such authorization. Do you understand? Before we can run such programs. So that is it. I don't really answer your questions. So that is it. But we can do it in affiliation with other universities. And that's what we're working on. In fact, we started it before, but because of the issue of accreditation and all of that, we have to hold on. But we can still do it. With devastating mind, I'm writing this in tears. I'm begging you in God's name, please kindly help me with 5,000. Please, this is not a platform for you to come and be begging for 5,000. Right? This is a platform to learn something and go and make more than 5,000. With the skills you are acquiring here, if you decide to participate in this training genuinely, you will be able to get the skills and get a job, and then get yourself something that will more than 5,000 instead of writing this on our page. We don't want this kind of messages. Do you understand? In our comment section. So please desist from that behavior. So if you are here to learn, learn. When you get a certificate, you can go and apply for a job, get a job that will pay you more than 5,000. Do you understand? So don't be writing this kind of message in our training, please. And I'm going to delete it because we don't want it here. Do you understand? I'm going to delete your comments because it's not needed here. So just have that in your mind. So, but if you want to learn, you learn and get experience, get skills, and apply something, and then you get a job, and then you will, you will be, you will be self, you'll be employed, and then you'll not be begging people around. Please. How much is the fee for the convention? If you are not a member, if you are not a member, it's 70,000. But if you are a member, it's 50,000. So that is how much we are charging for convention. If you are not a member, it's 70,000. But if you are a member, it's 50,000. Yes, she's even the first woman president in Africa. So Mrs. Johnson said it, the first woman president in Africa. So that is it. So somebody is asking, how can we raise funds for women empowerment in our community? How can we raise funds for women empowerment in our community? Well, it depends on what you want. You may, it depends on the umbrella you are coming from and what you have to do for the women. And so you can have a plan. You can have a plan. You can have a proposal. Okay. You can also reach out to people. You can organize a fundraising event. Then, but you must have something that you want to do with it. And you must demonstrate that, yes, this is what you are doing. First and foremost, it's not just go about raising funds. First and foremost is what are you doing? You should start doing something first. And then before you begin to look for funds, because if you just go straight looking for funds for empowerment, people may doubt what you want to do. People may think you are looking for money. You understand? But if you start doing something in your own little way and have evidence of what you have been doing, that people can be willing to support you to carry out such empowerment. Do you understand? Um, so do something first before you begin to look for money on your own. What have you done before you're seeking to raise funds? But you can organize fundraising events. You can write proposals to other NGOs, other international organizations to support you to be able to empower. But you must show something that will support you. You understand? So it's not just that they will carry money and give you. So these are the issue. But like I said, we are going. I will. I'm going to organize training on um I organize training on social enterprise, how to start and manage social enterprise. So part of it will be issue of fundraising. How do you raise funds for your social enterprise? You understand? Another element will be proposal writing, how to write proposals. You understand? So let's trust God that, that training should come up so that you can be able to participate in it. I'm excited to organize a full 1 month training because there are so many aspects to it. Because we talk about how to start and manage a social enterprise, how to raise funds, how to write proposals, grants when you are seeking for grants, and then also talk about how to write report writing. Do you understand? So all of those things. So I deleted this person's comment. She reposted the comment again. After I made my statement, I have said it. I deleted her comment. She reposted it again. So in this case now, I'm going to block you from here. So because I know that you are here for a different mission. You understand? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to block you so that you'll not be able to post anything here. So thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow by 7 p.m. I'll see you tomorrow by 7 p.m. Thank you very much for your participation, for your questions, and for your comments. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye.